Hello, welcome to PlayStation Access. My name's Nathan. I'm here with Dave.
Hello.
Dave, this is Dark Souls Remastered.
Yes, it is.
It's like Dark Souls, but it's been remastered.
Yep, clues in the title.
So people might recognise this bit. This is the swoop into the Undead Asylum, right at the beginning of the game. I was playing this on PlayStation 4 Pro.
Right, okay.
So our gameplay capture here is all 4K. The game comes out at 60 frames a second. This is a comparison video.
That is unbelievable.
That's the original one. That's the PlayStation 3 version, which was at 720p, which is 1/3 of the size of the pixels. So this is just to demonstrate that what we've done to do side-by-side comparisons is take that and we've had to blow it up.
Yes.
We could have shrunk down the 4K version, but that would have made less sense.
It does make less sense. And I always like to see that comparison. I like to see how many extra pixels I'm getting.
So that's what you've got to bear in mind, is that the PlayStation 4 Pro is putting out that much more of a image. You did this little bit of imaging because we like to see a good rat.
It just seemed like a nice way to sort of, directly show the comparison, and because sometimes there's interesting stuff on the other side of the screen.
Yeah.
But yes, there'll be some of that throughout,
There's a focus on rats as we go through.
Yes,
that's
there
true.
is.
One of the things, we don't do a detailed breakdown. This is really just a visual comparison, but definitely the PlayStation 4 Pro version is better at doing a range of different colours. The lighting looks much better.
Yeah.
You also noticed that, look, the kind of magical souls element.
So there's the PS3's original sort of soul.
Yeah.
And then I think we're going to see the updated PS4 Pro version.
New soul,
remastered.
very sparkly. Souls
Yes.
look better on PlayStation 4 Pro, everybody.
Exactly.
And
we knew they would.
The game itself, I should say, having played it, plays exactly the same.
Right.
And so I played, actually, so we went away. We should make the point also that we did capture on the same equipment. This is just to demonstrate the 60 frames per second. You can see that the new one on top has got double the amount of rat movement that the bottom one does.
That's what I'm looking for.
You might want to rewind and watch that again.
I guess but there is sort of real science involved in that, Nath. In a game of this type, those extra frames are important.
Oh man, if I was good enough at the game for those frames to be important, this would be a whole other video.
Well, true.
So this is a run. The section of the game which we're going to basically take bits from is the run from the beginning of the game at the Undead Asylum through the Undead Burg up to the Taurus Demon, and I waved to Solaire at the end. And I found the game. It's basically made me want to play the game again.
Okay.
But every time, and then I came back here and I played through the PS3 version after I kind of knocked the rust off my gameplay skills playing on the PlayStation 4 Pro version over at Bandai Namco, and that's how I know there's absolutely no difference in the gameplay. I went backwards and felt no difference whatsoever.
Yeah.
I'm still not, incredible at the game, but I did think it looked brighter. It was like going back to an old friend's house, and that friend looked great.
That's good. Just as you remembered, but actually better than you remembered.
And I think there's so much in the design of this game. I don't want to be mean and say that it looks murky. I think Dark Souls has always been known as a dark game, but there's such intricacy in the design of all the enemies, but especially the boss characters. All of the Soulsborne games are known for the kind of the grimness and the kind of baroque kind of awful design of their bosses, and now it's you just get to see it, not just because of the resolution boost and because of the frame rate boost, but because of the whole palette just looks a bit brighter to me. This was another example. You're going to get lots of one of the things that Dark Souls does is in-game kind of cutscenes, and they load on the fly. And so we've slowed this right down, again to show you how many more frames of animation you're getting on the PlayStation 4 Pro version, where the PS3 one is just standing still, because it's also loading in the next scene when you get to fly to Lordran. The crow on the left, Dave, is doing all kinds of work.
I know, yeah, things just you didn't know possible. Again, this is maybe a slightly unfair comparison by slowing it down, but it's just to show you, scientifically what you're getting when you see it at full speed. Though you can see it's so much smoother.
Yeah,
on the Pro
I've
than previously.
I've left it up in the top left-hand corner here, just so you can see that the PlayStation 4 Pro version loads in quicker as well. So it dips to black, but it comes back quicker.
Yeah.
So if you are, what does this mean for speedrun records? They've got to be separate, haven't they?
Well, you add up all those seconds throughout a game, you're getting yourself minutes maybe more. You know,
I could eat a
saved.
sandwich in that time.
Exactly.
2 sandwiches.
Well, you don't want to exactly. Yeah, at the end though, right? You want to that sandwich times for after the game.
Yeah. Or when I've found a safe place.
It's just so smooth. You can really see how smooth everything moves.
It does make a difference, and you are right. I hadn't even thought about it, to be honest. But like top level players will.
I mean, look how far ahead the gameplay is
notice
already
that.
now. It was, substantial.
We're jumping in to the crestfallen warrior, who is a bit of a downer, Dave. He's well known for being a bit of a downer.
Well, he's
A Debbie
crestfallen, I
Downer.
guess.
Yeah, I mean he is crestfallen.
I love that. I love every time we jump between PS3 back to the Pro. It's like the scales have lifted from my eyes.
I know.
It's it really is the best way to do the comparison. It's just it makes such a difference.
This is me not being great at the game. So this is, I mean, what the reason that I kind of concentrated on this area, not just because it was the area we were allowed to capture, but if anyone has played Dark Souls, this is normally where the game kind of clicks for you. And this run here, there's a bonfire behind you. And this kind of run and this area of enemies will be the area where you start leveling up and you understand how to, progress is about finding out which skills are useful to the build that you've chosen, and then making yourself stronger, and then progressing to the next area, or not, because effectively leveling in Dark Souls is like your own kind of difficulty dial. But this will be familiar to anybody who loves Dark Souls will know this area like the back of their hand. And going back to it was again, as I said, like seeing an old friend who's been doing morning workouts.
This will actually be my first time playing Dark Souls, Nath. Although
man.
a Bloodborne, I don't want to say veteran, but I did complete it.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's weird that you can complete these games and still feel like you don't really know what you're doing.
Yeah, I haven't played any Dark Souls games, and I was so thrilled when the remaster was announced to know that I could play Dark Souls for the first time on my PS4.
And go through the whole. You're right, man. Every time we jump back, I do kind of go, did I really play the whole thing like this? This wasn't even deliberate. This is how closely my tactics for killing the Black Knight just haven't changed. I've obviously got this. This is what I mean about running through this area so many times. Like I must have started this game so many times. But yeah, this is me doing the same. I was a pyromancer, which is basically cheating, and I just throw fire at him until he goes away in both instances of the game. But I have never finished Dark Souls 2 or Dark Souls 3. So I'm thinking, PlayStation 4 run through the whole series.
It's now possible.
It's on the cards, certainly. And if I'm a pyromancer through Dark Souls 1, which obviously I've chosen here, I could have the whole thing done in hours. It's really easy being a pyromancer. It's basically cheating. I thought that this next thing might be new for the PlayStation 4 Pro version, but apparently it's not. I took my sweet time looking over the edge, trying to line up like a drop attack. And the Taurus Demon wasn't having any of it. I saw him start to jump, and I was like, I don't know what's happening, so I'm going to run away.
There's more. I mean, this is a stupid thing to say. I was going to say there's more to his face. Like on the Pro version, there's like a little bit more kind of emotion or something. It's that extra detail that you get.
It's kind of what I mean about I love it when games from previous generations
look at his fur.
Get a new version. This whole boss battle is basically just getting very comfortable with a very furry crotch. That's what it's about. But yeah, when you can kind of see the work that the artists and the designers of the game have put in there, and it's kind of been hidden behind the technology that we're using to play the games, and then it all comes out.
Yeah.
It says victory achieved now.
Yes. That's
weird,
interesting, isn't it?
Instead of you defeated.
Yeah.
Which is odd. Look at this. This one is my favourite. I didn't get one of the rays in this video. But yeah, look, here's Solaire. Old school. And there's new Solaire.
Ping.
Oh, that's nice, isn't it?
It's very nice.
It's like taking off really dirty glasses. New glasses, you might say.
I would. I'm looking forward to seeing, all these kind of vistas and stuff. Again, it's not like a famously kind of beautiful game, Dark Souls, but the fantasy of it, it's just, I'm really excited to see it.
The visuals are hugely important. So look, we're going to have probably more gameplay from the PlayStation 4 Pro version of Dark Souls Remastered. Like this video if you enjoyed it. Let us know what you think in the comments. And do subscribe. We've got loads more coming up.